Hello everybody, welcome back to New York Talk. This is the instant reaction of a 1-0 home defeat to Stoke City. Poor. A few more poors in there, Mick.
A few more in.
I said to you at some point during the game that it was a team... Sorry. Target. Welcome again to New York Talk's Instant Reaction. We have a poor day, a very poor day to talk about. This time it's a 1-0 loss at home to Stoke City. We'll talk about it for a minute. Let's get this over and done with, mate. I said to you about an hour in, something like that we are playing like a team that's bottom of the league. And I know we are bottom of the league, and people go, "Oh, you're talking about our bottom of the league." But we played like a team that was half accepting that's our position, and that's where we are. That's where we deserve to be.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was just bad.
I think we've just talked about it on way up here. It's as bad as it's been all season. That's probably one of the worst performances as a whole across the whole of the season, certainly at home. It was just, we had nothing. Completely and utterly toothless in every department. We couldn't keep the ball. We had no composure when we got the ball. It was no idea going forward. It was just awful from start to finish. We had a period, maybe 10 minutes after half time, where we started to look a little bit more dangerous, looked like we might have an impact on the game, and then it just petered out. Not good enough today in all departments, not good enough for me.
Do you think it was a personnel issue? Do you think it was a personnel issue, or do you think it was a system issue? Because it persisted with the system.
Yeah, it did.
Does that make sense? He made 4 subs, and you could argue each sub was as valid as the next one. But the strikers were so isolated.
Yeah.
And that was part of the problem, wasn't it? There was no help. We can talk about individual performances, and we may well have time to do so, but the strikers really seemed isolated. And then that meant the press wasn't very good because they were isolated, and then there was no build-up play around them. It was just odd.
The press wasn't there.
Simple
Simple
as.
as.
Doing it, though.
Yeah, exactly. There was no pressing from midfield whatsoever, so that straight away puts us on the back foot, or put us on the back foot, and as a consequence leaves the strikers isolated. And what also leaves them isolated is the fact that we never had ball in first place.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't keep it long enough to get it up there. So yeah, he's got some work to do. He's got some work to do with him, Richardson, because that is not a performance that's becoming of any team that's looking to get out of the position that we're in at the moment. The results have gone for us again today, and we've not capitalised. In fact, we're probably worse off because Huddersfield managed to get a point. Having said all that, ultimately the game has spun on a fantastic free kick. Yes. Without that, it's a 0-0. Without that,
yeah.
I mean, Victor's never going to get his man of the match today because the only thing he did were old posts up. You know, he's done nothing. He's had nothing to do at all for the whole of the game. So much as they like the pretty football and they pass it about everywhere and they get the possession points, obviously for today, they offered nothing at all. I mean, arguably, in terms of actual chances created, probably 2 worst teams in division, based on today's
chance creation. Maybe.
Yeah, based on today's game only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're never going to score, are we? If we play like that, only because we don't get ball and we're not giving any support whatsoever to strikers. So
no, and the thing is though, we defended okay. They're obviously a footballing team. That's what Schumacher's trying to build in them.
Yeah.
And they knock it back quite well, and it looks pretty for most of it. But that's just to me, we're defending quite well. And to be fair, Hacks was probably my man of the match. Morrison did okay. The less said about the left-hand side of the pitch today, maybe the better. But we're defending okay. Yeah. And like I said, they took a worldie from what sounds like a dodgy free kick. I thought it was a free kick. Well, we'll watch it back and find out.
Yeah.
That's again, if you squint just right, that's a bit of a positive that we're defending okay.
Yeah, it is, and you know, I don't think that's changed in the games that Liam Richardson's been in charge. So that is a positive, yeah. but we need more. We have to be getting results out of games, and particularly games like that. You know, they didn't look particularly good at the back.
No, they didn't.
But having said that, we didn't test them, so you know they may be excellent.
Yeah.
You know, we just give them nothing to do. So yeah, defensively we were okay. We were okay, but you know, you've got to be able to keep the ball for at least long enough to get it into the box, and we didn't even do that for most of the game. So it's hugely disappointing performance for me overall.
Yeah, it's also there's a lopsided issue. Because you've got Cohen and Bramwell and Ted Brevin on one side. We'll probably talk about their performances on the podcast tomorrow, to be honest with you. We need more time for that. But then you've got, both of them got bags of pace, pretty good going forward. And then on the other side, you've got Peltier.
Yeah.
Hacks is not a natural centre-back, so he's not doing that overlapping. He's not helping out. And Pelt's had a decent game, but he's not a right wing-back.
No.
So therefore, you're saying to Stoke, don't worry about our right-hand side. It's fine, guys, don't worry about it. Yeah. Just make sure you've got a bit of pace to cover those guys. It's completely lopsided.
Yeah, and to be fair, Seb Revan, when he's played on the right, the last couple of games has been excellent.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Seems to fit. He seems more comfortable out there on the right than he does on the left. So, yeah, I don't know, mate. I'm just terribly disappointed about the overall performance today. It was a game that was there for the taking. It was,
yeah.
And I stand by that now. Having sat through the 90 minutes, you know. We could have easily got something out of that game had we played to anywhere near the potential that we've got, and we were way below. Awful, a team that looks like they accepted relegation, or a performance. That looks like a team that's accepted relegation. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's leave it there. There is a lot to cover, but we need to wait for reaction from Liam Richardson, don't we, on certain things, on the Kioso situation, for example. So do tune in for the full review on Sunday evening, which will be a full review with a bit more detail. We'll watch some of the information back. We'll hopefully have an update on the Peter Kioso situation, which is obviously doing the rounds.
I mean, in the meantime, you could just make up as more and more ridiculous reasons as to why he weren't on the bench today. If you want,
his car broke down. His
car broke. Yeah. I heard his wife ran over his foot.
Did you?
As she were trying to reverse car out at drive. Right. So it's apparently it's an injury to both his foot and his self-esteem. So who knows? But I mean, between now and the podcast tomorrow night, perhaps we could see who can make up the most ridiculous.
Yeah, for comments, cheer us. We sometimes do silly things to cheer us up. So in the comments, just to cheer us all up, I want your most ridiculous reason why Peter Kioso did not play in the game today. So make sure comment in the video below because we all need a bit of cheering up after that. So let's have a bit of a laugh at that. Please make sure you subscribed on YouTube and like this video as well. If you can, make sure to check out the full review on Sunday evening, which will be live at 8 o'clock on YouTube, or if you're for audio stuff, it'll be Monday morning, where I choose Spotify, whatever nonsense they do. Anything else?
No.
Thank God for that. Thank you everyone for watching. See you next time, and up the Millers.